Broads, this episode is brought to you by our favorite subscription box, and that is FabFitFun.
Again, the Zoom just
I know the Zoom
cramping
really,
my style.
really cramps our style, but what doesn't cramp our style is FabFitFun. If you yet to become a FabFitFun subscriber, consider this a sign. You won't want to miss their spring box. It's going to be my favorite ever.
Oh, I agree. I mean, the brands included are very good, people. We're talking full-size products from brands like Milk Makeup, a fave, Splendid, Our Place, Perricone MD, and so many more.
I love when my FabFitFun box comes to my doorstep. It's like a little mini Christmas every time, a celebration midweek, and this spring box is especially cool because it showcases amazing products from 20 different female-founded brands. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. You're not going to want to miss this box.
Order your spring box today. Sign up now so you can snag amazing products when you customize. Use coupon code CHATTY for $10 off your first box at www.fabfitfun.com. Again, that's www.fabfitfun.com. Code CHATTY, $10 off your first box.
And welcome to another episode of Chatty Broads with Becca and Jess.
Well, top of the morning to you, broads.
Top of the morning. That's my Shannon Bedore phase. You know why? I think it's Are we going to have to just change over to Evan's podcast model and just recap Real Housewives now? Because
I mean, this was slow going, my girl. This was slow going. I feel, you know what on top of it too is Tayshia might have had the best family dates I've ever seen.
You know, I was thinking about that during this episode. I was like, Tayshia's season of Hometowns was the best hometown episode I've ever seen.
By a mile. Like no comparison at all. Like, it was so emotional. There was drama. It had everything in it. And this one just felt like it fell flat. And I truly believe that the biggest reason it fell flat is because I think so much was cut, because there's so many moments where all of a sudden there's like, they're crying and there's more drama. And we see that in the conversations afterwards with like the women and Matt, like where it's like Michelle, for instance, was like, well, like you saw with my parents, like I feel so close to you now. You've seen how much they love each other. And Matt's like, yeah, now I really know like where your personality came from.
And you're like, where did we really see that? Yeah.
They cut it all.
Yeah. I mean, I think it also goes to, I don't know. It was just boring. Yeah. Sometimes it just be like that, you know?
Sometimes it does.
Dude, Jess, I think I said this last week. I got to say it again. We're watching, my season of The Bachelor right now, Gray and I are, and I think the travel really takes a toll. The lack of travel takes a toll on the seasons for sure.
Yeah. But again, the Tayshia season, they didn't travel either.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Tayshia's season also was, the nice thing about it is that her season was brief because we had Clare's season first.
That's
so we
true.
didn't even have time to get bored of Tayshia's season because we had Clare's season, then we had Tayshia's season, then it was all over in like 5 weeks.
I just feel like they gave us, they put so much time into like the drama of like Victoria that took all of the episode up, which obviously to a certain extent was entertaining, but then after a while it was just like, I don't want to hear people yelling anymore. I'd like to get to know, I want to feel invested in these women.
Or like Sarah, like, okay, obviously Sarah's not coming back now. So what the fuck are we doing? Why'd you waste our time? Why'd you waste 40 minutes of an episode on someone we were never going to see again until Paradise?
Why was, Yes. Why was Sarah not a blip, just like how Jason was? Jason's goodbye to Tayshia when he was like, I think I'm still in love with Clare. That was like a 5-minute thing. Like, what was the deal with the back and forth with Sarah and like seeing all of the drama that the women had with Sarah. Like, she was barely a character on the show. Why did we see all of this? Like, it was...
Did we get new post-production doing editing?
Yeah.
What's happening?
What
Fire
happened?
them.
They need to be fired immediately. Because, the thing about the Jason is it added a fun little bit of drama to it, but it wasn't, like, taking up everything. The fact of the matter is, I still cannot get over the piece that, like, they had so many Bachelor alum fly out that got cut. Like, that's how much they were cutting. And it's just like, I don't get the post-production's just been wild this season.
Like, what the hell are you doing? I think they were trying to do too much because they weren't traveling. They were like, okay, like Tayshia and Clare's season was a little bit of a dumpster fire. And now we're really gonna like, I don't know what they're thinking. It's stupid though, whatever they're thinking. What I have to say about that. Anyway,
the piece of Claire's season was a disaster, le disaster, or however you say it in French. But Tayshia's was amazing, and it was so good, and it didn't even feel like, I mean, minus just the same scenery over and over again. And then now they have in Matt's season, like, they're able to do way more. They have way more extravagant dates, and yet, it's just whatever's happening. It's just whatever. But
look, I'm going to be real with you. Yeah, I'm ready to cut this conversation right now because you teased me saying you had tea at the top of the episode.
Well, we did. We definitely have some things we need to talk about.
So I'm chomping at the bit right now, and I need to know what we're going to discuss because that's all I care about in this moment.
Okay. Well, let's first and foremost talk about him who shall not be named, Chris Harrison. Yes. I'm trying to workshop like a Chris Harrison. Like, is that okay? I don't know.
How about what Bachelor Clues calls him, the Dark Lord?
The Dark Lord, but I even tremble to say Lord now. It's just like that just POS. Well, there's been some movement from Chris Harrison, like underground movement. Him slithering underground.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Him and Neil Lane?
Him and Neil Lane have met under the earth. And they're forming the ring, the actual ring
alliance.
That will rule them all.
I'm terrified.
Absolutely horrified. God. Via Bachelor data, which if you're not following Bachelor data, this girl is unbelievable. The amount of like, she's just a genius. Like all the percentages that she puts together so quickly of like screen time, and it's incredible. Anyways, she reported that obviously Chris Harrison had a Cameo before, right?
Yes.
And it was $500 for one, which is very expensive. Well, Chris Harrison dropped some comment, obviously, on his Instagram that says, I'm really going to work on myself and take a step back. Well, guess what? He didn't take a step back from Cameo because a couple days after, he lowered his price on Cameo and was accepting cameos. So seems like he's doing a lot of work, a lot of heart anti-racism work, as he's just cutting his Cameo price by $200 and just, shitting those out. Well, Bachelor Data started posting about it and everybody was reposting, and now he's off Cameo again.
Dude, the price cut is hilarious because it's like, oh.
Yeah, discount Harrison.
I didn't get to go. I didn't get to be on after the final rose. Like, now I got to pay my mortgage in cameos. Like, what?
That's my thing. It's like this guy. And by the way, his cameos for a little while were for charity, and now they're not anymore. And so he's just taking that fucking cash for himself. Like, he's like, yeah, I got kicked off, and now, the $10 million that I was making per year just wasn't cutting it. Like, Josh was expensive, his college tuition. I mean, my goodness. God. So there's that. Also then there was an article that came out that was saying, like, because the franchise is so under fire with Chris Harrison, and now so many Bachelor alum have spoken up, that they were considering axing the Women Tell All because apparently Chris Harrison is in it so much. Well, they're
not going to do that.
Well, no, there was a preview for it on this episode. So it's they're not going to, I would be shocked if they aired the preview and then decided that they were like going to axe it like the week of.
I wonder if they're going to do any like post-production editing though to try to like edit some of him out of it. I mean, we all get it though. The Women Tell All was recorded before.
Yeah,
I feel like everyone gets it.
I think that they it's like, yeah, it's the debate of like, okay, like he was already in it and we had all these women come back, quarantine for a while.
It's a part of the season. Yeah.
I'm interested to see. They said that they were going to try to be fixing it in post-production, but like how much
fixing it, just like removing him from it?
I guess.
Like, and you're right. Like, what does that look like? Like doing voiceovers and not showing the videos of him like asking the questions or whatever.
It's like, what did that even look like? I was taking note that in the commercial for it, he was still doing the voiceover. So you're like, well, I mean,
also it's like, I'm sorry. I don't think that, like, why would you ask that? But then like, obviously he has all these appearances in the Bachelor season with Matt. Like we saw him today on the episodes. It seems like ridiculous to me to like, be like, oh, we're going to remove the women tell all because there's like more of him in that. I'm like, okay.
My thought also
I appreciate the gesture. I would love if you would remove women tell all. I hate it. Every fiber of my being.
Didn't we talk about if they put just a censor box over his face so you can hear him talking? No, they put one of those voice changers on him. He's just like, welcome to the women tell all. Like whatever voice modulation thing. And then he's got a censor over his face.
Yeah, or it's like all backlit, like when they're trying to preserve someone's identity.
Exactly. But again, yeah, at the same time, you had all these women come out who quarantined. I'm sure there were some valuable conversations happening with some of the women of color, maybe having like, hey, this is what happened behind the scenes. And you don't want to take that, like remove that. So yeah, it's definitely, I feel
and like I said, he's in all these episodes. He had a whole cameo today on the episode.
That he did.
But
did you see Matt's statement on?
I did see Matt's statement. I don't, maybe it's just because I'm in a mood, but I just don't have anything to say about I don't care about people's typed out statements anymore. I feel like I've seen so many of them. I don't care.
You don't think that this is him? I mean, I feel like this is pretty monumental. Like, I
feel like it's just because so many people put pressure on him.
Yeah. I feel like he is going a little rogue here, where it's a little bit like, okay, there were some hints. I'm going to read it for those who haven't.
Oh, like, yeah. No, actually, I hear you. It wasn't just a play. No, I hear you. Actually, I know what you mean.
I'll read
it's
it.
Like he went in certain areas that he certainly did not have to.
Yes. So I'll read it out loud for the broads who haven't seen it. Matt says, and he posted this as a hard post on his Instagram, the past few weeks we have been some of the most challenging of my life. And while there are several episodes left of the season, it is important that I take the time to address the troubling information that has come to light since we wrapped filming, including the incredibly disappointing photos of Rachel Kirkconnell and the interview between Rachel Lindsay and Chris Harrison. The reality is that I'm learning about these situations in real time, and it has been devastating and heartbreaking, to put it bluntly. Chris's failures to receive and understand the emotional labor that my friend Rachel Lindsay was taking on by graciously and patiently explaining the racist history of the antebellum South, a painful history that every American should understand intimately, was troubling and painful to watch. As Black people and allies immediately knew and understood, it was a clear reflection of a much larger issue that the Bachelor franchise has fallen short on addressing adequately for years. This moment has sparked critical conversations and reporting, raised important questions, and resulted in inspiring displays of solidarity from the Bachelor Nation. It has also pushed me to reevaluate and process what my experience on The Bachelor represents, not just for me, but for all of the contestants of color, especially the Black contestants of this season and seasons past, and for you, the viewers at home. I will continue to process this experience, and you will hear more from me in the end. My greatest prayer is that this is an inflection point that results in real and institutional change for the better. I mean, I will be real with you. I was extremely surprised that he specifically called out the antebellum ball, that he called out Rachel and not just Chris Harrison. That was surprising to me. I feel really distraught reading it because it reminded me that he didn't know going into this. Like, he thought he was entering a safe space.
Yeah.
And he's...
What his experience on The Bachelor?
Well, I shouldn't say.
Or what-
I say safe space relatively. I mean, like that there had been a amount of vetting that went on with the contestants, that this wasn't going to be something that was going to be coming up as his season progressed. That like he's right now finding all of this out in real time. Like he didn't know anything about this with Rachel. No idea.
Oh, I think he meant he's learning about. I think he means he's learning about. Maybe I took it differently. I thought he was saying that he was. Wait, hold on. Okay, I misread that so much. I thought he was talking about I'm learning about these situations like the photos of the Antebellum South Ball. I thought he meant he was like learning about that stuff.
No. He's saying like he didn't know that this was the case.
Obviously, yeah.
So that was my thing, is it's just like thinking about it from his perspective. Like, I don't know who he chooses in the end. The fact that there's like, I would imagine she's at least top 2. And
I think I definitely still think that he chooses her.
And he is going, like, he thinks he potentially found this person, and now all of a sudden, and he's talked about this at the top of the season, where there was like all this, like he had all these feelings of pressure as the first Black Bachelor, and now this is what's happening, and this is what all the attention is. It's just so fucked up and so wrong. And I know I said it before, but it's like, as far as like vetting the contestants, like this stuff was on her Facebook. Like, I don't know how at this point.
Wait, what was on her Facebook?
Just like some of the Antebellum Ball photos.
Oh, people found these. Okay, this is where like, I guess just I don't even know what to do about this, because I completely agree. It's just, there are certain scenarios too. Like, do you remember on Rachel's season with Lee? It was like
God.
They knew that Lee was a racist, and they literally put him on the show. Like that was just a whole other level. But like with this stuff, I have to say, this stuff doesn't come out until their names get released when they've been chosen for the show, because then you have all these crazy foot soldiers going to work, like, you know, thousands of people. Yeah. It's in how like the show works with the vetting process. Like, I mean, I guess they could hire maybe like a team of internet sleuths, but the Antebellum Ball photos were like tagged photos that people surfaced like when people really, really, really dug deep.
I feel like at this point, you got the money, you can hire a crew of people, and we've all seen what Bachelor Nation can dig up, and also like we've seen like don't fuck with cats, like documentaries like that, when you're like the internet sleuths can find everything. Like, you would just have to hire a couple people and like really also, I'm thinking a potential other way to solve it would be kind of what happened because of COVID with Clare's season. Like, the names get released before filming, perhaps.
Oh.
And so there's like a couple
potential girls.
Yeah, there's a couple solid weeks, you know, not a long time, but maybe like 2 weeks where they release the photos and people are able to like flush out potential.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that would probably
contestants.
actually work, because I'm just like thinking some of this stuff, you know, it took 3 months since Rachel's name got released for people to find the Antebellum Ball photos, you know?
Yeah.
And then also you got to remember that sometimes when people like photos, like Garrett's likes or like Rachel's like photos of friends, the only reason people see that is because they're following those people who they've liked the photos of, which is like also something you can't really like vet unless, you know.
Right.
So I don't know. I think it's one of those things that unfortunately, like, I understand people being like, we need to vet them better, but also like there is only so much you can do, and due to the fast-paced nature of the casting process, it's just part of the show, and I don't think that's gonna change. And honestly, it's how it is in real life, to be honest. Like, beyond what you can see when you try to do a deep dive initially, like, you find out things about people. And unfortunately, I don't think that that's part of the show that they'll be able to change despite efforts. It's like, sometimes it takes time for stuff to float to the surface. And I think it's awful to be in a position that he's in right now. Because now he also, you know, I was just saying like, well, you know, he hasn't, I was just complaining 10 minutes ago, like, he didn't say anything sooner or whatever. And it's like, yeah, it sucks though, because now all this weight and pressure is on him to handle this situation that he didn't ask for.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, this is not this is not something that should be his responsibility. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, I the fact, again, like I said, that this is the first Black Bachelor and that this is the biggest story that's coming out of it. And that it can, like, this is one of the contestants that is going the farthest, if not maybe the farthest. Well, he said in his thing that we will hear from him in the end. So obviously that's alluding to after the final rose and whatever conversations that's going to look like with whomever is going to be hosting it. I would love if they consulted Matt on who he would feel most comfortable being the person who sat opposite him. I feel like that would be like the right thing to do. And it's like, you're going to have to be having these conversations. I feel like he at this point should have somewhat of a say in it to a certain extent. When it's just going to be him and whoever is on after, whoever the top two people are, you know what I mean? So the conversation is going to be.
Yeah, but also if it's him and Rachel, maybe he doesn't want to pick someone like someone who's going to dig in, like Rachel Lindsay, for instance. Like
maybe not. After a statement like this, I don't know. Like maybe he wants to. Maybe they're done. Maybe he's like, I mean, who knows? He'd ask Tyler to do it.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Tyler'd be like, bro, I love you, bro.
My dude.
I just have to say.
Do you think if he picks her, like be honest. Do you think that if he picks her, he broke up with her?
Yes.
You do?
Yes. I don't. I know that you are like, you have your questions about the statement, but after seeing that statement to me, I'm going like, nah, this guy, he called out the franchise. He called out Rachel and what she did. He called out Chris Harrison, and he said, I'm going to talk in the end. And that makes me think if he picked her, he's done.
I don't know. I'm skeptical. He's also the one that tweeted out after Hannah Brown said the N-word, like, let's just love and light everyone today.
True. Very true. I don't know. We'll see.
Time will tell.
Now, before I have a little more, I have a little more tea. Before we have the tea, though, should we take a little pause?
Yes. Is it more fun tea?
It's
now
more
I'm
fun
feeling
tea.
I'm feeling all heavy and dark, and I'm like, oh, I'm like analyzing what everyone's gonna say about what I said, and I'm like, oh shit. Let's move on to something more fun.
Well, I'll talk to you about fun. Because let's talk about periods.
Period care.
Period. We love periods.
Yeah.
When it comes to period care, it has sort of always felt like there isn't one product that checks all the boxes. Some products are easy to use, but horrible for the environment, first of all. Others are better for the environment, but don't work to protect against leaks. Some are leak-proof, but not comfortable. There hasn't been a perfect solution. That is until the Flex Disc from Flex Fit.
Oh my God, Flex Disc is amazing, broads. Just, I know you're about to talk about this in a second, but I just have to say, first of all, this is so cool because it's like the only period product you can wear while you're having sex.
And you know I was about to go there.
So, yeah, I know you're going to go there. But it's 100% leak proof. For me, that's really important. Obviously, it's important for all of us. Between acting as a personal jungle gym for my kids, working out, living my daily life, I need to know that I can count on what I'm using for period protection. Plus, it's great for the environment because it lasts up to 12 hours and reduces waste by up to 60% compared to pads and tampons.
I totally agree. Those things are very important. And like you said about the sex, I've had numerous friends that told me about the Flex Disc because they were talking about having it during or using it during sex. In fact, one of my best friends just reported back from their honeymoon and was saying that it was just too good to be true. Like, was like, this is it. Having a lot of sex on the period, and it was just 10 out of 10. So it's zero mess. Can confirm. And if cups are more your jam, also Flex makes the absolute best. They're 100% reusable, and it's the only cup on the market with a pull tab, which makes it so easy to use. Both are amazing. They have incredible products.
So say goodbye to leaks, mess, and stress, and say hello to healthier periods for people and the planet with Flex. Go to flexfits.com/chatty and use code chatty for 20% off Flex Disc starter starter kits, or 10% off your first Flex cup, which I love, plus free US shipping. That's code CHATTY at Flex, FLEX, fits.com/chatty. flexfits.com/chatty.
Look, broads, we all have enough on our plates. Why add more, right? In 2021, I'm looking to take the path of least resistance in all areas of life, and that means turning to the experts and letting them lead the way on topics I don't have the time or energy to dive into. Case in point, vitamins and supplements. I can count at least a dozen times in the course of my life that I've tried to start a vitamin regimen and given up because it's so confusing. The information is all over the place. There are just too many choices. I never know if I'm buying the right thing. Thanks to Care of, I can now leave my wellness routine to the experts.
Care of creates customized vitamin plans that help you feel your best today, and they support you long term. And we aren't just saying that either. They really are the experts because all of their products are formulated with the cleanest ingredients, and they're fully backed by science. And you'll have so much insight into their research before you commit, and it'll take all the mystery out of wellness for you.
All you have to do is take their in-depth 5-minute online quiz, which is basically like a one-on-one with a nutritionist, if I'm being completely honest. The questions they ask truly help formulate your plan, and I know I can see the results. I was focused on naturally supporting my energy levels, and after taking my online quiz and getting my custom Care of routine, I truly have been feeling super great every day. So blessings, Care of.
For 50% off your first Care of order, yes, half off your first Care of order, you can go to takecareof.com/chatty50, enter code chatty50. Again, that's takecareof.com/chatty50, and enter code chatty50 for 50% off your first Care of order. Okay, I'm resetting. I was being a cynical bitch. Negative. I'm recharging. I'm resetting, broads. Apologies. Okay, here we go.
So in recent news, Bachelor couples are just getting back together because Dale and Clare are dating again.
Not only Clare and Dale, but also Peter and what's her face were spotted at the same restaurant, et cetera, et cetera.
They were not just spotted at the same restaurant. Those two were at nightclubs. They were just going all over Miami, and that's apparently where everyone goes these days because that's where Dale and Clare have been seen just like very publicly slapping each other's asses. And that was such weird timing. I said slapping asses and you like hit a fly or mosquito.
Sound effects.
They're just like everyone's back into it. Like it just was not the Clare and Dale thing. I mean, I'm sorry, that was some heavy level drama. Like both of them were posting so much about it. They made big statements about it. It was a whole thing, and their breakup lasted for about a week and a half. So are they perfect for each other, or did Dale notice that his followers were dropping and he decided to get back with her? And those are the big questions. I also wonder, like, are we going to be seeing a breakup once every couple? Like, will they break up once a month? Like that, I'm getting that energy right now is that, like, it's going to be for the next year and a half that every couple, like, 2 months, they'll break up, they'll announce it, they'll get, like, Claire will post a sad playlist, they'll get back together. You know, because
did you see she posted on her Instagram collecting memories with his feet in the corner?
Yes, and she also
that was
like
her "we're back together" post.
Well, that and also like among others, they legit were just taking the same exact videos and posting them at the same time. It was just like, y'all.
Oh my God, it's so stupid.
Blessings, but you're not like Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker right now. Where like
you will never be that. You will never be Kravis.
So like I know that you're trying for that same energy, but like I don't think any of us are too surprised that you're back together. It was just very quick. Like it was just thought it would take a little bit longer. Peter and Kelly, Lord knows, Barbara constructed that again. Wasn't she doing you sent me a
live with Dylan's mom.
Yes. So Barb is just out here doing lives.
I cannot.
With the other mothers. Still no news from Dylan and Jed. Thank you for that radio silence. It's so frustrating. Like, how do you drop all that info, Jed? You have a podcast. You have a podcast Instagram, and it is silent. Like, how?
Shut up. He even made a podcast Instagram?
Yes. And just not even a word. Not even like a, hey guys, like I'll be back soon. having to figure some stuff out. Just acting like they never even said anything. But
That's so embarrassing for them.
But speaking of Jed, did you see who Jed's ex is dating?
Who? Travis Barker.
No. Jed's ex is dating Travis Barker. Jed's ex, the one who like came forward to Reality Steve, who he left the show for, is dating Hannah Brown's brother.
Are you serious?
Yes. And they've been posting all about it on their Insta stories. Yes. So I'll say that
what?
Family dinners might be a little uncomfy for Hannah.
Or very comfy.
Or that's true. But also like
they can be like that piece of shit.
That's true. They could talk massive shit on him. I also just imagine it being, I don't know why, I just picture it being like not that way.
What the fuck?
Can you believe?
How does that happen?
Can you believe? I don't know.
Like, okay, so then that makes me wonder, like, did she slide into it? What?
Well,
like, did she slide into his DMs? Like, do you think they were chatting during Hannah's season, being like, oh my God, yeah, he's such a piece of shit?
Maybe.
And then, like, one of them was, like, kind of looking on their feed and was like, damn, I kind of want to get at that.
What if she messaged him because she knew it was Hannah's brother and was like, I just want to give you a heads up. Like, the guy that your sister is dating is
no, that's what I'm saying.
scumbag.
Like, they probably connected during Hannah's season.
Yep.
And then like when did they start dating? This is actually wild to me. I don't know why.
Right?
It's so mind-blowing.
It blew my mind. A couple broads sent it over and I was like, this is a joke, right? Like I kind of had to do a triple take and I just didn't even, I couldn't even process it. It was just like, what's happening right now? Like even the Bachelor adjacent folks are like convoluted in all of their dating. Like everything gets interwoven. Like
I know this is like the people I went to high school with. It's just what's her name? I want to see them now. Ugh, this is just gonna be a time waster. But I just gotta do some clicking around. Anyway, that is crazy. I hadn't heard that news. So
yeah, couldn't believe it. I'm waiting to hear who Jed's sister is dating because I feel like that'll end up. She'll end up dating like Chad or something. It'll just be
Jed's sister. Sorry, I was gonna like make some dark comments, but I still think that there's something weird between them, and I don't know if she'll. I don't know if she'll ever get over. I don't know if she'll ever find a partner like Jed. That's what I'm saying.
No, probably not. I would tend to agree with you. I would tend to agree with you. Anywho, that's my tea.
Okay. How do you feel? Do you still like Dale and Clare? I mean, I know we've kind of ironically liked them. How do you feel about them?
They remind me now. I feel like we genuinely liked them. Like it wasn't even an irony thing.
Yeah, I feel like it devolved for me a little bit into irony.
Yeah.
But I definitely actually liked them.
I just really wanted it to work. Like I really wanted to support them because it seems like I like both of them separately, at least off of the screen. I was like, I like both of you.
Yeah.
I would say that they are starting to kind of remind me of like friends of mine who start to get really annoying, who are dating on and off and on and off and on and off and are always calling me and being like,
You're just like, we get it.
Yeah, it's just like, you guys just either stay together and like don't call me when there's a problem or break up. Like that's what it's starting to feel like.
For the love of God.
and I don't love that vibe. That's not necessarily my deal. But I'm sure, but I still kind of can't help but like both of their energy a little bit, but not in a way that like
me too. Like it's just kind of like chaotic and annoying, and so you sort of have to respect them for their commitment to it.
Yeah, I have to respect the fact that they're not like quietly getting back together because they have to know that people are going to be like, are you kidding me? Like after all of that fuss, you guys are back together. It's been 10 days.
I'm on the same page as you, though, with Dale and Clare. I think we'll always kind of be on the same page with that one, to be honest.
Yeah. I can't help it. I can't help but like them, but also, like,
I kind of want them to prove everyone wrong.
Yeah, I kind of want them to, like, be the ones who last the longest and have, like, a huge family.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, fuck all of you. Like, I would
Yeah.
really like that. I want, like, the underdog to win.
Yeah, like one day, like 30 years from now, Bachelor has a reunion and like their 15 kids like all get on stage and are like, mom and dad are always fighting, but then they're always like all over each other and it's gross and they're like so affectionate and oh my God, you know how they are. And just like the kids are just kind of like,
You're
that's
like,
just how
and we're
mom
like,
dad
that's
is."
what you call a toxic relationship.
A little bit.
Mom and
Little
dad just had their third wedding after their third divorce. It was, it's always a good excuse for a party.
Becca. That's
What?
100% what's gonna happen. they're that family. Like I
Do
knew
you know anyone? I
Yes.
knew someone.
Yep, I knew a family growing up 3 times they got remarried. Like, well, yeah, 3 take all together 3 weddings.
3 weddings.
Correct.
Same couple, 3
Yes,
weddings.
Yes. And it was just like, I think
Who would attend the third?
I mean, it was just family, but it was like, we all at this point know that you all just like the wild energy of it,
Sexy
and you
drama.
get and you get bored. So like you guys, but you don't want to be with anybody else. So you just like break up and go through. It's my thing is just more like the cost of a divorce, my friends, my lord,
And the cost of a wedding, no less.
The second 2 were like, more like elope vibes, but still.
But did he get down on one knee every time to propose to her again?
You know, what's interesting is now that you asked that, I don't know if he just like found the ring and like put the same ring back on, or if he was like giving her a new diamond every time. Maybe that was part of the deal. She was like, if you're going to propose again, it better be a new ring. And he had to like upgrade every time.
Yeah, we're like, the ring has bad energy. Throw that one away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more curious about the actual engagement. Like, I'm curious if he like got down on one knee and they took photos every time.
I'm 99% sure. Like the drama, I don't think it would have gone like any other way.
Amazing. And see, I respect that. I respect it. I love it. It's definitely crazy, toxic, and fucking annoying for everyone around you. But I have to say, the commitment to the drama is real.
They were just like, let's give our friends something to talk about because we're all just living at home and bored. So let's just do this thing.
Jesus Christ.
But that's definitely going to be Dale and Claire, 100%.
Yep. All right. Well.
All right. Ready to get into this recap?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so obviously we do have, I do have to make a quick statement that we did get a Peloton moment at the top of this again. It's been a minute since we got a Peloton
I had to
moment.
write that down too. Like, I was not writing down every single second at all.
No,
but
definitely not.
At the top, the first thing I wrote down was Peloton sponsorship. Like, I have questions. How much were they paying for this? Because now we've had one at the top of every episode, so I need to know how much Bachelor is pulling in.
Correct. I think legit last week might have been the only episode, or maybe the week before, was the only episode that it wasn't in. And I was like,
Swear to God, they had him in the past too. Swear.
Yeah, I miss like, but I felt like maybe it just wasn't a long clip and I missed the Peloton energy. Maybe I just missed it. And I was like, plot twist, Matt proposes to the Peloton at the end of this. And it's just like, you're truly the only love of my life. Or one of the instructors.
Yeah. One of the instructors. I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, which Peloton instructor would Matt be into?
Is that Robin? Is Robin one of them? Is that like one of
I love Robin. Yeah, Robin would, they'd be cute together. Or maybe like Selena. Or Serena Samuel. Serena Samuel.
I don't have a Peloton, so I just know via Instagram. I just picture him being like, Robin, I've discovered that you are the love of my life. And she's like, Matt, I'm very pregnant. And he's just like, I don't care.
No. On the other end, she's like, all right, give me like 7 more minutes. Come on, we're almost there, guys. Robin, I love you. Come on, in case you don't think you could do it, no, you are strong. You are doing it, and I am proud. He's like, Robin,
I know you're ignoring me.
Robin. It's a pre-recorded ride.
Please pay attention to me. I'm the Bachelor. Oh, but no, I mean, it's wild. There has to be some sort of sponsorship. But anywho, the families are gathering around the grounds of Nema Colon, and everyone's preparing themselves. And, immediately...
That sounds creepy.
They've come to gather. And Bree's the one right away off the top that we see is super emotional. She's crying. We hear that, like, everyone got a family member. I know one of them said that they weren't expecting perhaps like one of their sisters or whatever. And I was just still picturing Chris Harrison sending an invite to my family and then being like, Jessica, your family has declined any invitation to make an appearance. Instead, they send their prayers and disappointment.
Jess, your parents said that they couldn't make it because of COVID. You're like, what? They're at their timeshare in Cabo right now.
Yeah,
no,
I'm just
they
like,
said
they're going
COVID
wild.
restrictions. They just really nervous about it.
They're going crazy in Tulum right now. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Just but oh, okay. They love an excuse. Just kidding, Mom and Dad, love you. But first we have Michelle's hometown, which I'll be real with you. At the end of the day, truly the only hometown that I really cared about because, I mean, Michelle is everything to me. I just also feel frustrated because I feel like they're not showing us her personality because when they show the behind the scenes clip, she's so funny and like whatever, and they're not really showing her much at all, which is obnoxious to me.
Okay, so maybe he does end up choosing her and Rachel was supposed to be the Bachelorette because you know my theory on the underwhelming personality and pick.
Yes.
So that they can really get you looped in for the girl they want to be the Bachelorette.
We hope and pray for Matthew that he has chosen Michelle because
it's what would be best for him.
She is an actual angel. And I think that, like, obviously it was a quote unquote hometown, but I think that hometown was one of my favorites ever. When they walk in to the, it says outside of the little amphitheater or whatever, the little theater, it says Mrs. Young's classroom. And I thought when they said that outside, I thought they were going to walk in and it was going to be set up like a classroom and she was going to like teach Matt and he was going to have to be like in a little seat. And then they open it and it's a giant screen and it's a live Zoom with all of her students. And I was just like, cool. Now I'm emotional as shit.
Wow. What I wrote down, this is a nightmare.
You are in a mood. How in the world is that a nightmare?
Hear me out. Why? Now, I know I am in a mood, but I swear this makes sense why. My first thought, why I said it was a nightmare, is because I was just in a Zoom birthday party recently, and everyone knows how horrible that is. Now, imagine that, but with 6-year-olds. No. know they're on TV. That's why originally when they walked in, I said, this is a nightmare.
Oh, no.
And it's still kind of, I still kind of hated it, to be honest, but...
I can't. You hated it? Dude.
I thought Michelle was cute. I was just like...
It was, first of all, it was beautiful and emotional, and they were loving on her. Second, they were so funny, and all of a sudden, all the kids were asking these, like, super fucking wild questions, like, when are you gonna have babies? Like, all the kids type questions. And, like, the whole just, like, oh my God.
Okay, you know how they normally hire... Wait, was this for sure her actual class?
Yeah, it was 100% her actual class.
Okay.
Because they like read, I mean, that's a theory that it wasn't her actual class. They read letters from her and then she posted about it afterwards and like tagged them. So your theory is
Okay, because for a second I was like, okay, you know how they hire actors for the classroom scenes. You know what I'm talking about? Or not hire, but they bring in child actors whenever they do the classroom scenes.
Oh, no, like when it's like the sex
yes,
ed class.
Yes.
Sure,
and then the kids are asking questions. So for a second I was like, are these actually kids from her classroom? That's why they're asking questions? Like, when are you guys having babies and stuff like that?
No, this is her actual classroom.
We've got some stars in that class.
There are some stars, but also it makes me wonder... You know, what parents are super fans of the show who all of a sudden are just like behind the scenes, like
they have cue cards.
They're just like, Jeremy, ask if he's kissed her yet.
Yeah. I was trying to say, scream, kiss her, louder. And the kids all looking beyond the screen like, kiss her. The parents like, louder, kiss her.
The mom just walks in the background and is just kind of like she's looking 10 out of 10, like in a tight club dress, and she has like a glass of champagne, and she's just like, oh my God, I Oh my God, Mrs. Young? Miss Young? I had no idea that you were, oh my God, was there been a substitute this whole time?
No, I pictured this, the mom walking by, like, pretending to have, like, snacks for the kid, and then accidentally bumps and spills water over the kid, and the kid's all, Mom! And then the mom's, like, gotta tell, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry to interrupt, guys. Like, you know, like, this is so 2020.
Oh I'm so embarrassed. I had just prepared this gourmet meal for my child, like I always do every afternoon during their Zoom class.
Like you said, the bandage dress, her boobs are all to her chin.
Her bosoms are just spilling out, and her bandage dress has her Instagram handle across the chest. She's like, oh my God, I got this. I'm selling Arbonne like, now, and so like this is my handle. Just like
no. She plays it off, and she's like, wait, what, Billy? I thought you were in class right now. Who is this? Oh my God, is this Matt from The Bachelor?
Wait, is this a TikTok trend? Is this a joke?
Her voice gets higher and higher. Is that Matt from The Bachelor? With like Tyler? Oh my God, Billy, you didn't tell me.
No, you better believe that there was a parent that popped in, and then they edited that shit out. The parent 100%. Was definitely just like, absolutely. Like one of the kids said something.
Can you hear his audio? The parents all troubleshooting.
One of the parents says, like, one of the kids says something like that they definitely told the kids to say, and like the dad comes in and is just like, so sorry. You know how it was. The kid's name was Evan. He goes, you know how Evan can be. What can I say? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What's this show, Bachelorette? Not so much for me. Not a fan. Not so much. I don't really watch it.
You know, I've never watched the show. He's just sitting, taking over the Zoom call.
I've never, you know, Matt, you know, I mean, with you and Tyler, I mean, well, no, never mind. I've never watched the show before, but like, you know, my wife's told me everything. She's always makes me try to get involved in it. You know, she is like, he has like his own Bachelor fantasy league that he runs.
He's the super fan.
Well, Matt was sweating because the kids were really grilling him. Like there was some serious questions being asked. Like, is this your boyfriend? Like, you know, have you made love? Like questions like that.
Oh my God. You better believe I would have had my kid definitely doing 3x5 flashcards like in the hours leading up to it. Oh,
my kid's asking a question in, you know, Italian. I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know. Just picks it up so easily.
Duolingo.
The third and fourth language, just, you know, once, I don't know. I say they bring Michelle's students back on for after the final roast to ask the important questions.
Bring those kids on as actors for future seasons. They know what they're doing. No one's fucking around.
Exactly. Yeah, they meet her family, her mom and her dad.
Angels.
Absolute angels. Also, immediately noted a little less sweat than in La Quinta. Everyone's looking a little less shiny.
A little less dripping. I'm sorry. Was that Zach's family?
Zach's family
looked like they had just got out of the pool.
Dude, Zach was like, Zach, my guy, you took another dip in that fountain. You sure love jumping in that fountain.
Was it his brother? There's someone who was just like literally like wiping sweat out of his eyes like he was running a marathon.
It was insane. I couldn't concentrate on, it was such like I couldn't concentrate on the family portion because they were just so soaking wet. This time they're not, but you know, they're just so sweet. They're you know, they were the family right away that you could tell that it's like they just want their daughter to be happy.
Yeah.
Like, that's those families.
Totally. Those families that we'll never be a part of, you know, those families. The families that, like, you go to their wedding, like, you go to your friend's wedding or someone that you know's wedding, and the parents get up to talk, and then you look at, like, your significant other, and you're just like, this? Like, this is a joke, right? No one's for real.
No one's this nice. No one accepts flaws, right? Like,
I'm like, no. For me, I'm like, these people are hiding something extremely dark. Do not trust them. I'm note taken.
They're actors. They've been hired.
Sus. Oh, what? Is your dad running a Ponzi scheme? Oh, that's why he's... Yeah, okay.
Interesting. No, for real, though. It's just like, yeah. It's the families that you're just like, people have this? This is so supportive. But they really just... they love their daughter, and they, even if they weren't like super like, oh my God, we're like they definitely weren't like we're Bachelor fans and we believe this experience is gonna work. It was literally just like her dad.
We trust our daughter and trust her decisions.
Yeah. And I will say that there needs to be a petition signed for her father to join the Calm app and record like poems or audio on, because he was talking and I was starting to like drift away into peaceful slumber. I was just like,
he seems like the type who maybe has written a poem or two, and I'd love to hear his poems on the Calm app.
Oh my gosh, yes. And his name, Ephraim Young, a poet's name. Beautiful, stunning, exquisite.
What's the milk and honey person?
Oh, you mean
Rupi Kapoor?
Yeah, Rupi Kapoor.
I feel like it has, never mind, that does not have a similar ring at all. But I feel like it has that like, oh, this person is very wise. Ephraim Young, you said?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
so
that
wise.
is like, wow, you know so much more than me.
That's like, I'm going to sit at your feet and you are going to tell me the meaning of life. And I'll be like, yeah,
also,
anything you say.
Ephraim, are you 1,000 years old?
Very old. If you start a church tomorrow, I will accept the Lord again and I will follow whatever you say. Like, just straight up, that was his energy. It was just like, yeah, sure. Anything you want. But he was so sweet with her. And then there's this, by the way, this like ominous 2 years ago that they never address. She starts crying.
Like you said, after Matt's going, I know so much more about you and your parents' love and whatever, and we're like, tell us what happened. what happened in the 2 years?
Like,
what do you think it would be, and why do you think they would cut it out?
It's
like
so
cancer,
ambiguous.
And they just didn't have time for it.
I mean, it felt very relationship-ish to me. But also, I don't know, like, it could be like a huge job loss. It could be like the death of a loved one. It could be a huge heartbreak. Like, we have no idea, because they just said she's crying and he just says, yeah, you mean 2 years ago? And she goes, yeah. And she's crying and no explanation. Upsetting.
What if they had a moment to talk off camera for whatever reason, and then it got explained then, and then they don't even have any footage to explain it?
Yeah, I just feel like...
No, that's not... Never mind. I take back my own theory. I'm wrong, because if that was the case, they would just put Matt in ITM and have Matt say, like, after I learned about, like, what her parents' relationship had been through with blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah, 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 I had, like...
Yeah,
they could figure that out and doing pickups.
You know what? Maybe the Youngs are just truly a wise group of people and are like, no, we're not gonna fucking say what it was. We're just gonna say, oh yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, we're not gonna get too personal.
All of them link eyes and
they're just like, you mean 2 years? Yep. We're not saying that. We're not going there. You know, I mean, that's not a bad.
I love that.
If I were to ever join the show, which I would be much too scared to do, but if I were to ever do it, I would just be so shady and I would drop random things all the time with the women around and be like, oh, well, there was this thing that was really, really intense that happened to me like 2 years ago. Anyways, da-da-da-da. And in ITMs, they would just be trying to get it out of me, and I would just be like, I can't talk about it. NDAs. Like, what's this girl's deal? Spy energy. Big spy energy.
NDAs. To me, it was like big fucking celebrity energy. That's what I was thinking.
I fuck celebrities. Brad Pitt didn't know what hit him. I'm also a spy.
Justin Bieber took my phone away before I sucked his dick.
What can I say? Nice guy, though. Super nice. Messy room, but very nice.
Do you know that's what he does? Like Justin Bieber, like if he's at clubs, pre-Haley, pre-COVID, he would like have someone collect everyone's phone at the door, sign NDAs, and then that's when he asks girls to do lines of coke off his dick.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's a pretty... No. That's like... That's very much like a put the phone in the basket situation and sign the...
Oh, that happened to my friend. He was asking girls to do lines of coke off his dick. And
my
after
lord,
they had collected everyone's phones.
Wait. Justin Bieber did? With one of your friends?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have to find out off camera who it was.
It was that bitch who ghosted me after we went to New York together, so you don't know her.
Do you believe her?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
100%. No, definitely.
Didn't know if she was trying to flex on you, like when she was pissed at one point. It would just be like, well, one time, JB.
No, she was definitely one of those girls that would end up in those kind of situations for sure. And but she didn't do it. I was like, wow, you really think you're better than that? I'm definitely not. And I would do that. And I would tell my children and my children's children that I did lines of coke off of Justin Bieber's dick.
Every time. Is
Proudly.
it too late now to say sorry? You're just like, children, I have a story to tell you.
This used to be a hit in my generation. And I gotta tell you,
many moons
one
ago.
time in my younger days, before I knew your father. That's what I'm talking.
Everyone's just like, Grandma, stop.
Before I knew your grandfather.
Oh,
Anyway.
anywho.
All right. So, yeah, Michelle's date was great.
Yeah, just so lovely. And, basically, like, the dad just says, like, I respect her choices. And it leaves it up to Matt to be like, if Michelle wants to marry you, I support whatever she wants. And, yeah, they're just so sweet. They have their little basketball hang afterwards. They're bonding. They're all precious. And then Michelle tells him that she is falling in love with him. And he kisses her, but he does not reciprocate, which has my alarm bells going off like crazy. Makes me nervous.
Now, did he already tell Rachel he was falling in love with her? Why do I feel like that happened?
He did.
Did that happen?
He
Okay,
did.
That did happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, he also told Serena P that. And maybe I'm mixing up, but I'm 99% sure it was Serena P. And she said, oh my God, thank you. And like smooched him, which cut to later in this episode.
Now, if you broads listened to the Chatty Bros episode last week, I have to say they made some good points. And I am convinced now when one of the bros said, like, that Matt brought up that Matt said, I see my wife in that room, that when he said that, their theory is that he has one woman in mind.
Yeah.
And I believe that they are correct on that. And that possibly their point, which I thought was an excellent one, they're like, maybe he's like the male Clare and he imprinted on his choice long, long ago, but he's just having the respect to play the season, as Nick Viall also, brought up as leads do.
Yep. I think they were pretty spot on that one, unfortunately. Which, by the way, you all love the Chatty Bros episodes, and we are happy to inform you, because of the outcry from all of you, that it will be a regular episode that will be added to the week. Not
every
this week.
other week.
Yep. So not this week to start, but the following week. They're going to every other week be dropping an episode, because the broads love the bros. What can we say?
We love the bros. I listen to them and I'm like, damn, hot take. Interesting.
I know. Good point. Good point.
Good point. Yep, I'm going to steal some of that. Okay, so.
But, oh gosh, also, when they end the date, my heart, and I'm like, if he breaks her heart, I will hate him forever. I love her so much. She just is like the amount of tears and big smiles this whole episode, her precious family, her students. And then she says as he drives away, she was just like, I see us walking hand in hand. And when we leave together, and she says, life will be so full, which I'm like, if you don't choose her, because that's just the shit to me. That's like my favorite word to talk about when you find the person. It's not complete. It's not like, oh my God, I found my other half. It's like, oh, life will be so full with you. And I feel like Michelle just gets it.
Oh,
R.I.P. I mean, she's still there.
Their relationship when he picks Rachel.
Before we get into that human state, do you want to take a quick pause?
Let's do it.
Okay, broads. Well, what would you do if you had 20 minutes of unexpected time to yourself? I, for one, would sneak in a quick nap, maybe take myself out for coffee, maybe catch up on some Drag Race. Honestly, the list is long. But I do know one thing I absolutely would not do with my time, and that is voluntarily stand in line at the post office. It's just not high on my list of desired activities, to be honest. But did you know that thanks to Stamps.com, you never have to spend another minute at the post office ever again?
That is right. Stamps.com brings all of the services of the U.S. Postal Service and UPS right to your computer. You can mail and ship anytime, anywhere, right from your home. I absolutely love it. You can send letters, ship packages, and you can pay a lot less than usual with discounted rates from USPS, UPS, and more. I pretty much shop online for everything nowadays, which saves me a ton of time, but it does mean I occasionally have to do some returns. I also sell stuff on Depop every now and then, and that would normally be such a hassle if I had to go to the post office to do those things, but with Stamps.com, I can print shipping and schedule a pickup right from my front door in minutes. It's so convenient.
And when you use Stamps.com, you'll get access to discounts that you can't even get at the post office, like 40% off mailing rates and up to 62% off UPS shipping rates. It really is a no-brainer.
Stop wasting time going to the post office and go to Stamps.com instead. There's no risk, and with our promo code CHATTY, you can get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the mic at the top of the homepage, and type in CHATTY. That's Stamps.com, promo code CHATTY. Stamps.com, never go to the post office again.
Well, Broads, it's not exactly a secret that last year was unexpected, unwelcome, and honestly just really difficult for everybody. And the laundry list of reasons we may have turned to credit cards to pay for our life is never ending, like job loss, unexpected expenses, taking care of friends and family, or any other reason. And if you've accumulated some unexpected debt, chances are it's overwhelming thinking about how and when you'll be able to pay it off, which is why we're really excited to tell you about Upstart, the fast and easy way to get a personal loan to pay off unexpected debt.
And can I just say, I love Upstart because it's simple. I know firsthand just how difficult understanding the ins and outs of personal finance can be. But with Upstart, all the cards on the table are right from the start, or they're right from the start. And it just takes a 5-minute online rate check, and you'll be able to see your rate for loans from $1,000 to $50,000 from Upstart's trusted partners.
You can even get approved the exact same day and receive the funds as quickly as the next business day. It's reassuring to know that even during a time as unsure as now, help is always just a click away. So far, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to take back control of their finances, and you can too.
Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/chatty. Don't forget to use our URL to let them know we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other info provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/chatty.
Well, next we have Rachel's hometown date, and if I'm being completely honest, minus a few parts here and there, I really don't want to talk about it because I've got a fucking chip. Just thinking about, again, maybe him looking back on this, if he did choose her and did leave, and just, I'm just like, fuck this, whatever. But she did have a near-death situation that was horrifying. I'll tell you that much.
She went splat. What the?
Dude.
Okay, first of all, sorry. We need to talk about how they snuck in a blindfold moment. We almost got through the season without one. Actually, no, we already had one, I think. No, there was a photo of Matt and Bree with a blindfold, but we never actually saw that scene.
Oh, yeah, no, we didn't see that. No, I don't think so.
But there was an appearance that we didn't see on camera earlier in the season. We had to get another one in, getting Matt blindfolded, where I really felt like I was watching an episode of Get Out, or the scene from Get Out on an episode, and it was terrifying. Yeah, where are you taking this man? Yeah,
it was fucking horrifying. And then she's talking about it being a, hometown date, and there's no reference to anything hometownish.
We're going to be doing a hometown date. I'm going to blindfold you and take you to a secret location. I'm terrified. Red flag.
Horrified as shit. And then she's like, nothing to do with hometown, and is like, I want you to trust. You trust me? You trust me? We're going to go skydiving, which, have you ever been skydiving before?
No.
It's very scary. I mean, I'm not super freaked out of heights. And
no, dude, you have to jump out of a fucking plane.
I'll tell you this. I wouldn't be thrilled if someone was like, we're going skydiving.
Sprung it on you.
And I'm like, well, now I can't not do it because I'm on camera. I'd be so freaked out.
You have no choice.
I definitely did do that to Evan when we were dating. For his birthday, I drove him out, and I was like, we're doing something, and I drove him out. And we pulled up, and it's a skydiving place, and he's just like, oh my God. But I right away said, I was like, okay, no pressure. I can cancel. It's not a big deal. Like, but I wanted to surprise you if you want to do it. And then he debated doing it for like 30 minutes and then we ended up doing it. But I did kind of do that to him.
Yeah, dude, that's scary.
But I'd be
and then I
pissed
felt bad
on
for
Cameron.
her because homegirl suffered a fucking like, I don't know what happened to her.
I'm just like, everybody, like, where are the medics on site right now? Like, where are the medics? Why, when she took a traumatizing looking fall, like hit, like it was horrifying looking, were there not medics rushing? And instead, Matt went from his position where he was laying on top of the instructor for a while, like just kind of laying there, just taking deep sighs and just relaxing, that he then ran over and like sat down with her. And then she had to sit up right away and like just be talking to him. And I'm just like, she is seeing stars. She's talking about how her back hurts.
Trying to play it cool.
Oh my God. I was just
I
like,
have a serious neck injury.
I mean,
A brain injury. Who knows?
Yeah. I feel like, Matt, there's been a lot of accidents. We said it, I think, last episode, that it's like, oh my God, why are there so many accidents happening on this season? And I think Matt might be what, you know those people that always just draw accidents? Like, some people like never end up in the emergency room, like never break a bone, never whatever. I feel like when Matt is around, everyone, same here. I feel like when Matt is around, everyone gets hurt.
I gotta tell you something. I've hiked Half Dome a handful of times. In the past, like in the past 60 years, or at least like last time I hiked it, there had only been 2 people who had fallen off Half Dome. Both times, I happened to be on Half Dome the day that it happened. And they were both like, there were instances like probably like 4 or 5 years apart. And both days, and those 2 instances within like 60 years, I was there both days. Then when I went to Yellowstone National Park, in Yellowstone National Park, the first time in like 50 years, someone got mauled to death by a bear the same day I was there. I was like, I am the National Park Angel of Death.
You are a Matt. Now, I wonder, first of all, that's insane, and I love you. I will never travel with you ever. Like, it just can't happen
Just
anymore.
don't be in a national park on the same day that
Okay.
I'm there.
Well,
because
then-
I am the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, I'm not going to be even within any miles of you if you go to a national park.
Don't think about me.
Nope, I can't even be thinking about you at all. But I now wonder if we would take a tally for Matt's friends, be like, hey guys, like, do people, when like Matt's around, do they get hurt all the time? I just have this feeling that it would be like, yeah, dude, every time we're out, someone kind of ends
Some
up
sort
like
of magnetic energy. Someone gets a bloody lip when they're out
Yep.
drinking, or like
Yep.
just like some random shit like that.
Yep, that's how I feel. But hopefully Rachel is okay, because it sure didn't
Oh my God.
it sure
Their
didn't look like they checked
conversation-
on her.
Their conversation after that, where he's like, I thought you were dead. Basically. And then she starts crying, and I'm like, are you okay?
I was like, no
is
shade.
stupid.
No,
Sorry. Yeah.
No, that's how I felt. I was like, no shade to like the fact that looked like it hurt really badly. And I don't think you should be talking right now. I think you should be getting a check from a doctor. This conversation feels over dramatic as fuck. And like everybody needs to just like let her go get a quick checkout. You don't have to make
we're
it
keeping this conversation in, but we don't get to see what happened with Michelle's parents. I mean, I don't get, like, you thought she... Okay.
like, okay, yeah, no.
This is stupid.
This is ridiculous. You guys, like, I'm just, like, a moment of, I'm so glad you're okay. I was so scared. That looked horrifying. There's no need to necessarily be like, I thought about you not being in my life because I pictured you dying. And it was just like, this is getting out of control at this point.
Calm down. Okay, this is my question. For when we meet the families, am I losing my mind, or were there a few different houses that they met the families in, like random houses? They're all different houses, right? That they met each family in?
Now that you're saying, maybe. I wasn't necessarily, it all looked like a similar layout to me.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe they all have
wrong.
like, they have like like separate suites or like little separate cabins on the grounds of Nemacolin, and they're all, so it's kind of a similar setup, but maybe in a different direction or something.
Well, I was kind of wondering if they had like different Airbnbs for the families
Maybe.
they were filming in.
Maybe.
It really doesn't matter, but that's how boring this episode was, where I was like,
you were taking note. You're like,
Airbnbs?
that sconce seems like it was in a different place than the other one. Was that light fixture in the last?
Where are they?
Yeah, I mean, Becca.
Because I was like, is on the property? I was just confused.
No.
Her dad was the most like classic skeptical dad conversation ever.
I would like to read to you one of her dad's Instagram posts, and then you can say,
oh yeah, I didn't.
And you can say, oh, I can picture that guy saying this after now, and like
God.
just close your eyes and envision like his
Oh my God, I'm
attitude.
scared.
Just picture him saying this. This is something he posts. This is something that he went on his own accord and felt the need to, like, next to his name, Daryl Kirkconnell on Facebook, type this in and like, Daryl Kirkconnell is, and then, whatever.
Oh, this is probably something one of my uncles would do. I'm already prepping myself. Go for it.
It's just, this one is just the one that's just like, dude, okay. But he says, if you're the jealous type, do not visit the Dominican Republic. Lots of guys in weenie bikinis and topless women in thongs. However, 80% of them have no business wearing such little clothing. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's that guy for sure. Yeah, like this comes together. Or this one. Guess I should, this is a Facebook post. Guess I should prepare for more of my hard-earned money to be taken from me and given to those who pay little or no taxes so they can have a, in quotes, fair shot. Ridiculous. Ridiculous is also spelled wrong.
What is he referring to? A fair shot? Who?
I believe this was maybe after the presidency was lost, because he regularly was donating lots of money to Win Red, which is helping Trump win 2020. So I'm assuming that it's a loss on that part. But when I saw him and his like vibe, and then I read the guys in weenie bikinis, and then like they shouldn't be in that little of clothing, I was like, okay, yeah, that's all I need to know.
Weenie bikini. Oh, like you're we got a funny guy over here. We got a funny guy in the house.
We got a funny guy who feels like, he has some really important funny things he feels like he needs to go to Facebook and let his 15 friends really hear about.
Jess, I'm sure he has like 57 friends, I bet it's his crew. They get together, they have some good, robust cabs together while they're sitting out in the back by the back fire pit, which is he's smoking some stogs. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I can see
none of that what is that? I'm trying to think of like stupid names for weed. None of that like wacky tobacco. Wacky tobacco for us. I don't know. A real funny guy.
I mean, he was slurping pretty hard on either a gin and tonic or a tequila soda or something,
I gotta say, this is the only thing about the Rachel thing that did bother me, is the digging up the family's Facebook posts and participation on the internet. Because I'm like, Lord have mercy. If you dug up some of the things that my like close family members have done on the internet, I do not claim their beliefs. I love them. I do not claim their beliefs, guys. Please do not try to dig up any of my close family members' internet going-ons to try to paint a picture of me. That was the only thing where I was like, you guys who are digging this up, none of your family members do any shit like this?
No, I could fully agree with you, because I feel the same way. I have some family members, like I said before, you should hear our family dinners and the insane fighting that occurs because of our extremely different takes. But I think the family...
that's a polite way of saying it.
The takes. But the family stuff didn't get dug up at all until her mom went on the like rampage to defend her daughter and was saying some outrageous shit along the way. There was nothing that was being actually dug up. And then it was kind of like, okay, we're going to start going toe to toe and getting into people's comment section and making these declarations about your kid while she's silent. So now we can really only turn to this, which is all we know because she hasn't said anything.
Yeah.
And we know she's very close to her family because she does a lot of posting with them, etc. So it's kind of like, okay, like,
Yeah, I mean, but then no one was paying attention to how, not that I think this means anything, but Did you see the stuff about her, how people were saying that she's a Trump supporter, and then her sister was commenting like, LOL, she definitely voted for Biden.
But then her record of voting came out and she didn't. She's not a voter. So you're kind of like, okay.
Nice try, bitch. Nice try, sister, doing some PR work.
Speaking of, her sister was so devastated because there were 0 scenes with her in it. Like, she thought she was going to have one of those moments.
Did her dirty.
Wait,
are you serious that it showed that Rachel Kirkconnell was not registered to vote at all?
Yes.
That
she hasn't voted.
So like, I think, funny.
I don't know if she's not.
Try.
I don't know if she's not registered to vote, but it says didn't vote. Like, she hasn't voted in any of like the past elections.
She would have voted for Biden if she was registered. No,
that's what I think. I believe, and I could be super wrong on this, but I'm 99% sure at one point then her sister or friend did actually say she would have voted for him. And you're like, well,
she's been really busy, guys. Like,
well, her sister really tried to defend her and it really fell short. And her sister also didn't get any time on screen. And you know that was devastating. That was devastating for her. But yeah, I mean, all in all, one of the big things was Rachel at the top of it said that she really hoped that Matt would get her father's blessing. But she wanted Matt to get that. Matt didn't end up asking for that because clearly, he could read the room also and be like, this guy is not interested in me being his son-in-law, and this family is not necessarily thinking this process is going to work. And so then when he talks to Rachel afterwards, and which I so appreciate about Matt, how direct he is, how he told her that like it went well, but he thinks that it's important to ask for the blessing, but he feels awkward asking of that for all 4 families. And he doesn't want to just do it to check the box. Like, he'll call when he's ready to ask. Which I thought was like, that's like such a great, I mean, instead of just doing the typical like, and I think some people haven't asked at all in the recent days, but like, just the fact that it's like just the straightforwardness of like, I'm not ready to ask you, so I'm gonna not ask it of all 4 families, and that's just not, I'm gonna wait.
I have to tell you something though. Another conversation. Her mom did hit the nail on the head when she was like, but is he? She was basically like, but is he too perfect? Because that conversation was actually really interesting to me. Because I've like heard the girls throw around the perfect thing, but Rachel is straight up like, he's never had a bad day. Like, I've had bad days. Like, he's never had a bad day. And her mom was just basically like,
yeah.
Yeah. And to me, I'm like, something's gotta give. What is he hiding?
No, my thing is like, my biggest thing is like, and I think you and I would have thought this from the start, which we did think from the start, by the way. We knew nothing of Rachel, and you and I are just like, I don't know what the vibe is, but I know how this is going to go. My thing is, out of all the women there, obviously minus Serena P, I'm like, I think that she actually likes Matt the least. I don't believe that she's in love with him. Like, if anyone's to me going to say like, this is a little contrived for television, like, I would have said, and I can tell you this for a fact, this would have ended up giving me like crazy heat during a normal season where all this shit didn't come out about her, and everyone would have loved her, and it would have been like a Ben thing where I go like, I don't buy it. Like, I can't tell you what it is, but those things, those comments don't help. The whole like, there's nothing ever wrong. Like, it just doesn't feel authentic to me. It's the whole like, I've never had a pair of shoes that are more than $40. Like, it's a little bit like, this feels like maybe you want something to work and you're like on a show and like whatever, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know.
That's interesting. I agree, because like when she was crying at the skydiving, I was like, give me a break, like the wiping the tears. And even I noticed when she was in interviews sometimes being like, I'm in love with Matt. It's like she sort of like says it and doesn't like really look at anyone straight in the eyes when she says it. That conversation though, I actually thought that one was real because I thought that she was sort of echoing again like what Evan and Grayson said on the last episode, where they're like,
oh sure,
he is perfect, there's nothing wrong with him. And it was like when she was saying that, I was like, okay, so these girls are seeing exactly what we're seeing on the season, which is like Matt does not drop the ball ever. He's always got his ducks in a row.
It's very true.
It was interesting to me to hear someone that's there with him every day saying that.
Yeah,
and her being like, I've never seen him slip up. That to me, I was like, damn, this dude really is able to put on like a very, very perfect facade.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's definitely true. I just think that's definitely, I think, part of the case. I think that he's guarded, and I think that he's, again, what he talked about at the top of the season, I think too is very real. Like feeling the pressure of having to be the first Black Bachelor. And I think 100%. That's a piece, but with a lot of it with her, it's the same way. And I know we got fucking shit about it the first episode, but the first episode when she started crying after he was praying, you and I were both
God. I'm like, okay, this girl can turn on the waterworks.
And everybody was just like, oh my God, she's one of my tops. And I was just like, I just like the fact that you're crying already. Like this feels contrived to me. I'll be real. Like it feels like you're wanting to, like you're aware that the cameras are on you and you're auditioning for Bachelorette or you're auditioning for Bachelor in Paradise or whatever.
Or even just one of those people just in general in life who can turn on the tears and be like, and can manipulate stuff by using
I can't help but shake that. Like, and again, this doesn't even have anything to do with knowing anything about Rachel. I'd feel this way regardless, and I know I would get shit about it, and I did. When I in the past the first few episodes, there was comments, and there was an episode that Evan and I did when you had a break, and I talked about my thoughts on Rachel, and I got like a lot of shit about it, but I was just like, I can't help but shake this feeling that like there's a lot of contrived business going on.
I think it's, and what I'm saying is I think it's her person. Like I think it's not okay. Yeah, I'm going to go in one step further, which is probably going to piss people off, but I don't, like, you know how you see girls come on sometimes and it's for the show, because, like, they want to be for the show. I think it's, like, part of her personality, which I think people are going to be like, you're going one step too far, but I don't know. It's something with, like, how she said the whole thing of, like, oh, my God, like, I've just, like, always had, like, insecurities, and like I just don't, like, you think I'm pretty, like, oh my God, stop, like I'm so ugly, like the friend when you're like, when someone like she's like the friend if someone is like, oh my God, I'm just feeling like really insecure right now, like I feel like I've gained a lot of weight or whatever, she's probably gonna be like, oh my God, shut up, like I am so fat right now, like you should have seen what I ate for lunch today, and you're like,
and you're just like, are you? Yeah. No, yes. That's
what I'm saying. Like, I get the vibe that she's like this, like, all the time.
Yep. And I also cannot shake for the life of me, even though I know some people are like, oh, that girl who posted the TikTok thing, that she didn't go to school with her. But there's been other girls who have now posted since, like Feminist Mama on TikTok, who posted like all this info about Rachel, like super thorough stuff on TikTok, not knowing her personally, just like reporting on it. And all these people who have posted about her get insane backlash from all of her friends who like aggressively slide into the comments and the DMs. All these friends that are in photos with Rachel while Rachel remains silent. And there are these people who like say some pretty wild things. And I just go like that rubs me the wrong way too. That it's like, I know that if people were talking about me, I'd probably have a friend or two who's kind of wild, who might like hop into and start, defending or whatever. But like this amount, and I can't shake it. Like I can't.
Interesting.
It just throws me off, where I'm like, the fact that like it seems that the people who you're closest with are getting really aggressive in DMs and comments, and you happen to be very quietly like silent and like just kind of be like perfect person, like quote unquote perfect, and let kind of everybody else do the dirty work a little bit. It's hard for me not to be like, okay, it just feels, everything feels too perfectly placed. I don't know. My DMs are about to blow up. But that's just how I feel. I can't shake it.
No,
you know?
I think a lot of people will agree with you.
But anyways.
I mean, never mind. I was about to go somewhere. We'll go there. I want to go out. We're going to go into it off camera because I have thoughts, but I'm not going to say them on the podcast. Sorry.
Ooh. Okay, so let's just move on from Rachel. We got 2 more dates here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, hers is boring. I mean, like, they were all kind of, there's nothing more to say. Okay.
So next we have Bree's date.
Again, this isn't like really hometowns. Like, none of these are actually like hometown related.
It was like, you know, you almost killed me, which is very true on that ATV date when he flipped that, and she that was a very violent looking crash. They didn't follow up, and no medic came. And so she took him off roading, you know, into the woods of Nemacolin, and it was very wild. And I would have barfed, and he looked horrified, and it looked like it was fun. But
you know, conversation after.
They did, and that was when he asked if she was going to get to meet her mom, because obviously they had that conversation between the two of them, and she said she was going to, and mom might be a little tough because she has been like the only parent that she has, so she's going to obviously be protective of her baby. She's worried about like my family not being conventional, and he's like, I thought that he had the perfect answer to the thing about the perfect family, and I thought that, see, there's Matt having the perfect answer. I was like, oh my god, he said the right thing, and that it's like the perfect thing in that moment. I was like, wow, what did he say? He was like something about a perfect family. Like, I realized the thing that made like my family perfect was like having a mother that loves me and a brother that would do anything for me, and like that's what makes my family perfect. And I was like, I know, it was so sweet. Also, quick callback. During Michelle's date, I can't believe I forgot to say this. During Michelle's date, when she's talking to her dad, and he's like, what do you like about him? And she's just like, we both want to like make a difference. She talks about how he is starting these like hydroponic gardens in the city to like help provide like fruits and veggies for the kids. And he's been posting on his Instagram a bunch lately, but he hasn't talked about it. That's like what he's necessarily doing. But we ended up finding that out, that he's been like in California working with these hydroponic gardeners. It's just like, it's so cool.
So cool.
Like,
super cool.
Yeah. So we don't see that side of Matt, which bums me out.
I feel like Colton wishes he was Matt.
Yes, 1000%.
Like, Matt is the kind of person Colton wants to be, but like is not.
Yep.
Ooh, that's
correct.
sad.
Correct and correct.
I also wanted to say that I noted from that conversation, I love this thing about Matt, because I just was like, I see you. He said that he had just like always had a job ever since he was like 12. Like, he was always working, and I was like, I wrote that down too. And he was like, my first job was at a Christmas tree lot, and I was like, Hallmark movie, hello. Love it.
Look, cute little 12-year-old Matt just like chopping down some of the trees and just like, you know, I don't know, so sweet. But that's I love that too.
Did you know? Did I ever told you about my first job? About how I was on a kids cooking TV show?
Oh my god, yeah, you have. It's actually incredible.
I'll save that. We'll tease that. We'll talk about that on a different episode.
A job?
But basically, I hated
it. You mean a star?
A job? You mean a career? I was 10 and I hated it. A star on the Walk of Fame, baby. And it was really hot under the lights, and I hated it. Okay.
So
anyway,
he meets her family that night. Her mom, her best friend, who's also named Bree, and her sister, who is a fresh little nugget.
Oh my god,
so cute. Which, by the way, I love the baby moment, because what you can't do in television is if a baby's gonna cry, you can't, and that was that moment of meeting the baby, and if it was like full meltdown, and that's just called life, baby. The babies are real. That wasn't an actor. I was like, oh my god, I know. I was like, Matt was so stressed. Her mom was so stressed. She was so stressed. Everyone was so stressed in that moment trying to play it cool. Oh, I know that feeling where you're just like, oh shit, you've been so quiet for the past 3 hours, for a fact.
And then you're like she's supposed to be taking her nap. Like,
oh yeah, she was napping in her like little seat for the past 3 hours, and it was like, oh shit, she's gonna wake up, and it's, oh god, like the whole plan was for the little one to be napping when they came in,
or they were trying to give her a nap, and then like the producers kept like bursting in, like moving around shit, and they just couldn't get. So mom was already high strung. Like,
mom's already agitated. It's like, you're gonna do what? You're gonna you're gonna try to wake up my baby?
To add to. I like her family and friends energy a lot, I have to say.
Yeah, me too.
But then to add for the mom's tension, she asks him if he's falling in love with her, and he goes, I'm falling for her. Like, we'll say that. And I was like,
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Again, another moment where I have to say, as much as we talk about Matt being perfect, he is very direct. Like, I appreciate the fact with all these parents, he did not bullshit any of these parents. All the parents were like, are you in love with my kid? And he's kind of like, not quite yet. So that's just how it is. Like, he was very direct about it. And I feel like a lot of leads are like, I'm falling. Like, yes, they're the only one I have eyes for. And you watch the lead say that to every single family member, and you're like, is that true? Or every single family. Or even
like a roundabout thing of being like, I can feel my heart getting there. Like, he basically said in so many words, just like, no.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
And he was like, yet. I know that's not what you want to hear, but.
Yeah. Yeah. And oh, by the way, when the mom said, when the friend Bree was like, what have you guys been doing? And her mom goes, well, we know what Matt's been doing, dating. I fell out of my chair. I was obsessed. I was like, yes, I love her.
And then he tried to bring it back around and was like, dating your daughter. And I was like, yeah, nice try, buddy. We all knew the subtext of that.
You're not dealing with a pushover situation right now. Mom's not going to let you get away with this, okay? Mm-hmm. She does not have enough sleep. She has an infant right now. Okay, so this is going to be a very straightforward conversation because she wants to get some sleep.
Well, I thought what I thought was really sweet was her conversation with her mom, and just the cutest line I'm going to highlight from that is she said, "Worst case, we'll mend a broken heart together," and I was like, oh! I liked her family because I was like, personally, I can't deal with the like, we're happy if you're happy, whatever that means thing. I just, wasn't raised that way. Can't handle it. But I love this because her mom was like so supportive of her, but like so real. And it was just.
When she said that, like, which then just echoed the fact that even if I don't buy this, I'm going to stand by you and, whatever, like. Oh my God. And I just pictured it being like, oh my God, you have a place where like, you can go after this if it doesn't end up working out, and your mom's going to be there for you. She's going to hold you when you're bawling. You guys are going to eat, like ice cream together, watch the shows, talk shit on Matt, talk shit on the other girls, like have your thing. And like to have a parent like that is so special. So no, okay. I wrote that down too. I was just like, oh my God.
And then the only other thing I personally want to highlight from the date is when she then got all worked up to share with him that she was falling in love with him, and his response was, "Thank you for sharing that."
Thank you.
I've never seen someone be shut down worse.
It's like getting pat on the head when you're trying to kiss somebody. It is.
That is such a good analogy or parallel.
It was brutal. I was yelling and it was terrible. It was so terrible.
Brutal.
So brutal. Hated it.
Thank you for sharing that.
So stressed out.
What you said, you could not have hit the nail on the head more. It was the pat on the head when you're going in for a kiss.
Just like your whole body's just like
it hurts your back.
She didn't seem to though like to have a visceral reaction
she's probably telling herself in her head is like, he's not allowed to right now.
Probably.
Like he can't. He doesn't want to say anything back. We know.
Because I would have, if I would have finally said I love you and his response would have been thank you for sharing that, I would have been like, so you don't like me? Like I would have, the arms have been crossed and I would have been like, so do you want to just end this journey now? Would you like to walk me out? Do you want to end this? You want to cut this short?
Okay, Victoria F.
I would have been like, you know what? I've been great so far. And I just told you that I'm in love with you. And you just said, thank you for sharing. So
I would have been,
I'm
oh my
out.
God.
I would have been
in
like, no.
utter denial personally. I would have been like, yeah, no, he just hasn't said it to anyone. And he doesn't want to pull a Ben, so he's just not telling anyone. That's
I would have been like,
happening
no.
here.
In all actuality, I probably would have started to play hard to get. That's kind of my go-to.
And you'd be like, just kidding.
No, I just would have like let it die, like just been like there, and then the next date, like not bring up my feelings for him at all whatsoever, and just been like, let's just have fun.
You get a date card, you're just like, yeah, no, I actually was thinking that like I need to do a hair treatment.
Just be like, Matt, I so appreciate you taking your time to do this, but honestly, if you want to spend it with one of the other girls, that's totally fine because I have been getting terrible sleep in these hotel beds, and so I just need a little self-care day.
No, Chris Harrison comes in with your date card. You're just like, tell him maybe. And Chris Harrison's like, what? You're like, tell him I'll think about it.
Let him know that I'll be considering his offer.
I don't know. Brie and I talked about getting pedicures today. I just tell him I'll pencil him in for maybe like 4.
Listen, my family's here for one more day. And like, I mean, I just need some girl time because I haven't gotten enough these days. So if that sounds okay.
My mom really needs help with the baby.
Yeah. I love my sister.
Family first. Okay.
Well, next was Serena's date, which, by the way, took me on a little bit of a surprise roller coaster, if I'm being honest. That was one of the moments in this episode that I was like, okay, this is a spin I did not expect. I was thinking that maybe it might end via commercials, but I didn't expect her to come in so bubbly and seem like everything was like...
And leave so distraught.
Yeah, she was coasting. They had their Canada date where the walls were covered in the Canadian flag. Like when she was doing the quiz with him and she goes, how many points does the Canadian flag have? And he was closing his eyes and counting. And she's like, there are plenty of examples. See 1,000 flags behind me that you could count.
Do you think in that moment she was like, this guy's a moron. I have the ick.
Maybe. I was wondering about her ick factor. Because that's kind of all that I could really chalk this shit up to. When she was talking later on about like her ex and like worrying about like getting hurt, I was like, nah, girl, I think you got the ick. It's fine. It's understandable. Like it happens sometimes. You can have the best person in front of you and you can get the ick.
I think she said a phrase at one point that I have said when I have the ick, where she said like, on paper. When someone says on paper, that's the ick talking.
And she even said, it was also an ick confirmation, where she like kept saying, she kept bringing up her past relationship. And I was taken back to like, I have a specific memory that when this was happening, was like in my brain where Evan and I had broken up and I met this guy who on paper was perfect. And we started dating like casually and he wanted to like basically propose, like wanted to take it there really quick. And the whole time in my brain, I was just trying to convince myself that I didn't love Evan anymore. And I was like, he must have gotten my head that like, I can't, it's because I'm hurt that I'm not attracted to this person. And I just need to get over that. And then I'll be into this. And it's just like, nah, I just really wasn't into that guy. And I was trying to force myself to be into him because like on paper, he was perfect. But I still like my ex.
Or you're like crunching the numbers. Like if you're talking about the ex, like even if you don't still like them, in your head you're crunching the numbers. Like I felt this way with my ex only 2 weeks into knowing him. Like this guy and I have been dating now for 5 weeks, and I feel only 72% the feelings that I did on, Dave. Anyway,
you know what I think about? I think about the kiss. I think about when you kiss someone and you're like, the kiss is nice and it feels like it should feel good, but it's either empty or like something about it bothers you. Like, I don't really like his smell, or like there's those little things, but you're like, it's not bad. It's the ick. It is an unexplainable phenomenon that you're just like, I can't force myself to like someone.
Rough. That's how I felt about Grayston. I'm not kidding. I was going to break up with him when I found I was pregnant. I was writing in my diary, like, I hate him.
Maybe Serena should have stuck with Matt and they could have worked it out. Maybe she should have
gotten impregnated by him is what she should have done.
And then can
I tell you something though? Even now with kissing Gray doesn't like kissing, really.
Oh, he doesn't I remember you guys said that. He doesn't enjoy the kiss, huh?
He doesn't really like kissing. So then he never really like gives anything. And I know so like I don't think we're kiss compatible. It's really sad. I'm not sad. Don't you feel bad for me?
I do, but also I know that you guys love each other, so
yeah, I'll find someone else to kiss. I told him that. I was like, just kissing. We were talking about that on Patreon. I was like, is kissing someone cheating?
I think it just
genuine
depends.
Question. Like, it depends on the person, right?
I think it just depends on your communication.
Oh, I meant the person you're with, whether or not they think it's cheating.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I suppose, yeah. I think if I kissed someone, Evan would consider that cheating. And if Evan kissed...
Yeah, I mean, I think if Grayson kissed someone without talking to me about it, I would definitely consider that cheating.
If Evan kissed someone, I'd be like, what was the situation? I'd be like...
I'm so confused.
Yeah, I'd be like, were you drunk at a club and like did someone kind of like grab you and you smooched
come up
quick?
To you, yeah.
Yeah, or were like you like meeting up with someone for drinks and dinner secretly and then making out with them? Like that's a big difference to me.
Were you on camera? Was this like a YouTube prank? Like,
yeah, like I mean, you know,
context?
Were you like joking around with a friend, like as like well, check this out, or were you like falling in love with someone and then like deciding you were gonna kiss them?
What I actually mean is not whether or not you consider kissing cheating. Whether or not, if you consider kissing non-monogamy. I don't know if that makes sense. Because like some people might want to be like, oh, I don't want to be in an open relationship, but that's kind of more what I mean.
Yeah, I think it's all very like person to person for sure.
Me too. Or like sexting. Like if you send nude photos to someone, like is that?
Yeah, because yeah. Sexting's a big one to me. It's like I find that
very interesting. Or like what about anonymous strangers on like a chat site, like for instance. That yeah. Like I used to love what is that site? Omegle.
Oh, yeah. Or like chat roulette. Oh, yeah.
I used to 100% go on there naked. That's a fact about me I've never shared before.
Oh, my God. I am living for that, queen. Because
why?
Because I consider doing that 5,000 times.
Oh, I always would. And you know why? It's the best confidence booster. I used to do this all the time when I was in college. It's the best confidence booster because then guys are like always think that you're a bot because you're hot. They don't think you're real. And like there's almost never any like naked girls on the other end. Normally on Omegle, it's just dudes jerking off. So when they see like a woman on the other end, they're holy
oh, yeah.
Are you real?
I'm going to go on the adult Omegle tonight.
you should. And then this is so raunchy. Then, like if you're really on a roll for like you're on there for an hour and a half, you can make like 10 different dudes come to just you being hot on Omegle. I know, that's so raunchy. Oh my God.
You know what? Do you know that when I considered going on, when I've thought about it before and I've considered going on like an adult, like, like chat roulette style thing where like, nudity is like good to go. But my actual thought was like, oh, at the time I had like 2 tattoos and I was like, what if someone knows that it's me? Like it's going to be a dead giveaway. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that in my life right now.
That could happen now to you. Now you're kind of famous,
Okay, well, I don't know about that, but definitely I have more recognizable tattoos like than I had before. Like they're
just go in a morph suit with like cutouts of your breast and genitals. Then like people will really be weirded out.
Like the Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like the Green Man suit, just like have cutout holes. Anyways,
I bet a lot of people would be really into that.
Probably.
Honestly.
I mean,
wear like sunglasses over it. Can you imagine? A fedora.
Well, broads, if you're on one of those adult websites and you see that, know it's me.
No, it is me. Or we're giving people ideas now for some new kink.
Anyway,
anyway.
There's a lot of tangents. So So they end up, I mean, we've kind of talked about it, but their nighttime portion was when all of a sudden everything hit hard because sister came in and was just like, here's the fact of the matter.
Something's missing, bitch.
Something is missing.
Quit lying to yourself, you stupid bitch. That's basically what her sister came in and said.
I was super like, I loved it because I felt like her sister was so like, he seems like a really great guy and sometimes you can get in your own way. And she was just kind of saying it like, it wasn't like, oh, you have the ick, you should run. It's like, oh, you have the tendency to get in your own way. And I feel like maybe you're doing that in this situation because he does seem like a really good guy, but something's off. Like you're not there right now. Like I don't see it.
Yeah. I mean, I loved it too because I loved her mom a lot because her mom, I just love how she ran through the questions with her.
Yes.
Where she was just like, okay, but do you feel this way? But like, how do you feel when he does this?
Is
like,
he intellectually stimulating?
Mm-hmm. Conversations, check. Mm-hmm. I liked her family.
Her family was great. And her dad, I loved her dad. Her dad was super like, he was kind of just along for the ride. He was like, yeah, whatever, honey, whatever you feel, if you're not comfortable, blah, 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 blah. Like you do what you're going to do. And then mom and sister came in and was like, we know you. And like, maybe you should. I think what they did, and I'm sorry for Matt that he was sad, but I think what they did is they gave her kind of what she needed as like a way of escape because she was probably slowly feeling the ick and like starting to feel like maybe I don't want to get engaged. And parents came back and kind of snapped her into it and go like, hey, I know you've been like traumatized for the past like 8 weeks with all these women and the fighting and like the competitiveness, but like, do you really want to be with this? Do you really want to get engaged to this guy? And it was like, oh God, I don't think so.
She then was like, really like, I'm okay, I gotta get out now. She was ready to break up with him, I think, like right in that moment after that conversation with her parents.
Oh, and then after she told him that she was like trying to explain like her questions, and he was like, so, and I thought he was great because he was super, he likes her a lot and he handled it very calmly and was just like, it's like, I totally get the questions you have. We'll work through them. Like, if you trust me, da da da. And I thought he had a great response, but then obviously too, she had her feelings and she was like, why is he being so calm? I'm a stress case right now. And it was just two people having two very different very different valid feelings, like two different people who were on a very different wavelength going on.
Yeah. I loved her leather pants though.
Oh, I loved that those camel colored.
I was like, I didn't know I need camel colored leather pants. But
yeah.
I do.
Do you know what's so funny is I wrote a comment down about that too, and I haven't written like a clothing comment down for a while, and I was just like, damn, I wonder where those are from. I hope she posts about them later.
I considered like hitting her up and DMing her, being like, I'm so sorry for your loss. Can you please tell me where those pants are from?
Quick question, Serena P. Well, Matt is, visited again by the Dark One, and he hovers upon him.
Yeah, we can I felt like this was a waste of time.
Yeah, he
filler.
He basically was just like, 100% producers knew that Serena was leaving. And so they had Chris Harrison go and fuck with Matt's heart by going in and being like, well, if you really want her, you should fight for it. And he's like, I do want it. And then he goes and has the conversation with her, and she looks like, to me, she looked very surprised. Like, she did not look to me like she was planning on seeing him.
She looked
shocked. She looked like she hadn't slept in 72 hours. Like, she was so worried and wanting to leave and like debating if it was worth it or if she should stay or go. Like, and, he just came in and he kind of like laid it out a little bit, and she just very, very clearly just immediately said to him, we need to have an honest conversation. Like, and then when she said, I think it's more than fear, I just don't think that you're my person, I was like, well, that was really intense, and I really felt for him.
But then did you notice that they were laughing and smiling when they were walking out?
Yeah, I did see that. And I was kind of like...
They were like laughing, smiling when they got up from the couch. And then I thought that I thought that I just like missed something. And then when they were like walking out to the car, which is just hilarious. Also, after listening to the boys episode, that she walked him out.
Oh yeah,
he was like, "Can I walk you out?" Oh wait, this is your hotel room.
He goes, "Can you walk me out? Can you walk me out?" And then, well, also too, when he was just like talking to her, and he just kept going, "I sent you a text." I just go, "It stinks." He just kept going, "Well, it just stinks. It just stinks." Because I, want what's best for you. And if it's not me, then that just stinks. So this whole, I think he said it stinks 4 times in like 3 sentences. And then when he's walking out, when he's talking to her, and then when he's in the car, he's looking like he's starting to cry. And at first I'm going like, oh my God, he really liked Serena P. We're finally seeing Matt have a breakdown moment.
Emotion.
But then he immediately says, what if one of the other women does this? So I'm like, okay, you're fixated on another person, I think. And you're concerned that someone is leaving. I think he genuinely really liked Serena P, but like that wasn't his front runner. And so her leaving and like is now freaking him out.
I agree.
And so yeah, then there's the rose ceremony, and he tells the women, he's like, I got to be straight up with you. Serena left. She didn't want to have a relationship with me, so I want to make it very clear that I'm wanting to get engaged moving forward. I just left a room where Chris Harrison scared the shit out of me by saying like, one of the women probably is lying in there and probably actually is going to leave you at, last minute. Like just sent this like ominous message to him before he went in. He's already just so nervous.
It's what you asked for, Matt, when you embarked on this journey. Well, and then of course we get freaking, it's all in the previews. It's all, what do you call it? Foreshadowing.
All the foreshadowing.
But we must note from the rose ceremony, we get Michelle rose first and Brie rose last.
Yeah. And honestly, too, I feel like Michelle has gotten the first rose now for like 3 rose ceremonies in a row. So I'm holding on hope for their love.
I definitely do think that Brie would have actually gone home.
I think so too. And I think Serena. She knew it. And I think that's why she's like obviously distraught when she's like, I'm happy to be here, but like it sucks that you get the 3rd rose because someone sent themselves home. So like, did that mean that I just by default got the rose, or was I going to actually get the rose? Yeah. Because if you're 3rd, you know that you were going to, they either was going to send home Serena P or you. If you got the 3rd rose. So, but yeah, upcoming season shows, Matt's mom saying the most ominous thing I've ever heard, where she goes, people fall out of love and love's not the end all be all, very seriously. And not sure what that means, but very frightening.
I saw that too, and I was like, damn, honestly, she is my kind of woman. Like, the pessimistic energy I was bringing at the beginning of this episode, I feel is like what she brings all the time, and I live for it, honestly. I love it.
I mean, she did not crack a smile, and I don't think we're going to see her crack a smile, and what I'm actually extremely excited to see is her meeting the top 2, and what that vibe is going to be like, because I feel like... I
mean...
just sweating bullets.
One can hope. I mean, she is a hard ass. Like,
yes.
I mean, it makes sense why Matt does everything perfect, because like I don't think he had any other choice growing up.
Probably. That's an insightful comment. That's probably what it is at the end of the day, is that mom is like
terrifying.
You will get perfect grades. There is no excuse.
Colton's mom wishes she could be like Matt's mom. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Oh my God, I'll never forget about that when we talked about how cold his mom was.
I'm telling you, it's some of those mama-son relationships that are like hard asses. Like, I expect perfection for my son. It's got to be a lot. It's a lot.
Well, we see that he's, not only do we see him crying, having that Chris Harrison conversation, we see him sobbing at one point, and the music is this. boom.
No.
Boom.
Jess, you know I noted the same thing because I was like, stop it, zombie apocalypse, stop playing it. I'm triggered, stop.
No, I hated it. I was like, please stop. Like, please turn this music off. We are in 2021. These are scary times. Please don't put that music over top, okay? With him just like this. And tears
that needs
just
to stop.
Streaming.
That is canceled.
It needs to stop.
That is music is canceled.
We don't want it. Don't give it to us. It's not what we're here for.
That is cursed, and I hate it.
We hate it.
Anyway, yeah, I hated that. Wait, but I just have to talk more about his mom because, like, and then that's the last thing. Remember, like, in the very first episode where she was like, but, like, even if you... I remember in the first episode, she said some really ominous shit about family where she said something, like, just really negative, like, where she was.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Yeah, I forget about
like,
I forget what she said too, but we were both like, "Oh, geez."
He was like, "Oh yeah." She was like, maybe there will never be the perfect time. Like maybe there will never be actually a time to like find a wife or a family. I'm just like,
maybe you'll never find anyone. You're just like, does she know she's on the show right now? Did she know that there's a camera crew that's filming
I
this?
love her. I love her.
Celine Dion is
I want her on the
back,
show.
baby.
Celine Dion is back. We can't wait to see her. I cannot wait to see her roast all the contestants. I can't wait for her to make Rachel cry. You know, Rachel's gonna cry. Ooh, what if Rachel leaves after the meeting with his mom? One can only hope.
We can truly only hope. And if that happens, we stand so hard. It'll be impossible not to stand.
Oh my God, but this is also sort of like a repeating of Pete season.
Oh yeah, huh? I mean, it's very different mother energy.
Absolutely.
The cold versus the chaos is very different.
The cold and the chaos. That is your new erotic novel.
I can't wait.
Anyway.
Anyways, broads, that was an episode where we talked about a lot of random stuff in between, but it's because not a lot happened in this episode, and that's just how it is.
Yeah. Again, broad, sorry, don't hate me for being a fucking bitch in the first 20 minutes of the episode. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Oh my God, but next week's gonna be the fucking women tell.
I know. I can't.
I'm gonna have to reserve my energy for that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
Oh my God, Jess, you know this is... Can we boycott this episode for Chris Harrison? No, we have to do it.
We have to, but...
watch.
But it's gonna be.
I can't see MJ. I am looking forward to Victoria. I did like the sneak peek of her.
She's gonna get just. It's gonna be game over for Victoria. MJ, I don't want. I can't. I don't want it.
And I don't want to watch people fight with Katie. Like, ugh.
Oh yeah, no. Katie's gonna get. Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh,
anyway,
I don't know. It's gonna be a lot.
Yay! All right. Well, with that,
we'll chat soon, broads.